Hi friends, good evening. Welcome to Durga Soft and welcome to REST API. Okay, Django REST API framework sessions, right? So first, there are few things I want to discuss about this REST API Django. Just the basic overall idea overview I want to provide in this session. But before that, just aware to continue this Django REST framework. The first prerequisite is compulsory you people should aware Python. Okay, compulsory you should aware Django. The people who know these two things, then only continue. Otherwise you are not required to continue this batch, because sir, for Django REST framework the prerequisites are: one is Python, the second one is Django. First point, is that clear for all of you, right? Okay, well, now the next thing, sir, very important about this Django REST framework. Here, do you know the most important points? Just two or three general conclusions I want to talk, sir. The first thing, most of the people in the Python world don't know about this technology. Remember this one, most of the people don't know about this technology in the Python world. Okay, so it is the most exciting technology. Okay, when compared with the remaining people, you can show clear difference in the interview room if you are strong in this area. Remember this one, correct? Okay, majority of the people, sir, don't know about this REST API or REST framework. In the interview room, they're always going to have question mark symbol. So that's why compulsory you people should aware, sir. If you aware, you can show the difference between that you can show clear impact in the interview room, right? Okay, so this is the first general point I want to talk. What is the second point, sir? Sir, just now you told most of the people don't know about this technology. Is it really required or not? What's the answer you can tell? Is it compulsory required technology or not? Yes, is it required? Is it mandatory? Is it required or not? Yes, remember that it's compulsory required technology, sir. Remember that compulsory required technology. Okay, do you know, sir, here it is the mandatory technology. But very unfortunately, most of the people, mandatory technology, right? Most of the people don't know about this technology. But anyway, once Durga sir entered, then everyone can aware this technology some way in the form of videos or in the form of material. Everyone can expert in this area, I'm sure, sir. Okay, now do you know Django application without the REST? Django application without the REST API. Do you know my perspective here? There is a person is there without the hands and legs. Can you please imagine once how that person looks like? Sir, there is one person is there. He lost his so legs are not there, hands also not there. Then automatically, how stupid, how that he's not that much powerful. He can't do anything. The same kind of thing is there without REST API, our Django application story also. So compulsory REST API is going to add power to our Django application. What it means, I will discuss for you people, right? So it's a mandatory, compulsory required technology. These days in the interview room, it is a hard cake, sir. First question in the Django, do you know REST API? Regarding, do you know REST API? It's very common, compulsory you people should aware. Okay, next, third important point. Can you please tell, is it easy technology or difficult technology? Anyone? Is it easy technology or difficult technology? Okay, sir, most of the people don't know. Most of the people don't know about this technology. Then definitely it will be very difficult technology, sir. Very difficult technology, sir. Like some people may feel. Okay, please make sure. Okay, please make sure it is very easy technology. Are getting very easy technology. So I will give left and right to this technology to bring this technology on the ground. Don't worry, sir. Don't worry. So I will make this technology stand in front of us. Okay, nothing will be there in this technology. Very easy technology, sir. Okay, well, the next, is it big technology or is it small technology? Remember that it is very small technology, but to make full perfection, we require to discuss, okay, at least 30 to 40 sessions. Please make sure you have to listen this point very carefully, sir. 30 to 40 sessions I will take, but this one is, it is, yes, very small technology, very small technology, right? Okay, now these are 4 points you should aware, sir. What the first point I covered? Most of the people don't know this technology, don't know this technology. Okay, don't know this technology. Next, the second one, it is mandatory technology. Yes, the Django application without REST API means human being without legs and hands. Remember that much powerful. The power is going to add to your Django application. This REST API, sir. It's a very easy technology. It's a very small technology. Don't worry about that. You can learn very easily about these things, right? About this technology you can learn very easily, right? Okay. Can I go for next level? Up to this, any doubt? Up to this, any doubt? Okay. Now the next cinema, what I have to discuss for you people is, sir, what is just general terminology I want to introduce related to our Django application. I mean, related to our REST API, sir. Generalized terminology. Sir, I'm using API. I'm using API. Next, I'm using web API. Web API. Sometimes we can use the word web service. Web API. Sometimes we can use the word web services. Java people are using especially web services like web API, web service, both the things are same, sir. The next one, REST. The next one, REST API. REST API. Next, last one I have to talk about Django REST framework. So Django REST framework. Okay, like these 5 terminologies, if I'm going to discuss, then nothing will be there, sir, in this concept. Okay, just I want to introduce the basic terminology, just what we are going to discuss in the next 30 sessions or 40 sessions, right? So first thing you people should aware, what is API? Just observe what terms I'm going to discuss. API, web API, what is the web service, what is the REST, what is the REST API, what is the Django REST framework. Like this terminology, first you have to get the clarity, right? Okay, REST API, web API, next all the things, Django REST framework, everything interchangeably we can use, but try to get much clarity about these things, right? So what is the first one? API. Can you please tell what is API? Anyone? Respond. Already it's a very common word. Application programming interface. Application programming interface, right? So what it means? What is the purpose? What it means, right? Very simple, sir. For which purpose we are going to use this API? First, try to get the clarity, general clarity, and then I will talk about this programmatically, right? Do you know? I hope you people having your mobile phone. Okay, mobile phone is there, sir. Just Nokia. Here just Nokia or otherwise Samsung. Here just observe. If you want to make a phone call, if you want to make a phone call, do you know? So what we have to, what we require to do, sir? If you observe that, yes, if you are considering this one, just observe. This is the mobile, like. Do you know you have to, if you want to make a phone call to your girlfriend, okay, what you have to take, just do you know you are going to type the number and then green button, happily the call is going to connect with your girlfriend happily, do you know, until battery down or until balance completed, happily you can continue like this, right? Now my question is, take a bit very special care about this word. To use a phone, some interface is there, some keypad is there, correct or not? To use this mobile phone, some keypad is there. This keypad itself acts as interface to use the phone functionality. If any person want to use this phone, compulsory something must be required. That thing is nothing but this keypad. Are you getting? So this keypad itself is the interface. By using this keypad, now I can access the functionality of this phone. Everyone can aware? Please confirm. Yes, friends. Okay, well, what is this? Layman terminology. Don't think too much about technical words. Layman terminology, right? Similarly, if you consider ATM machine GUI screen, are you getting? Maybe available or not? ATM GUI screen. Okay, is it available or not? Okay, I'm not sure, sir. Okay, well, ATM, yes. Okay, good. ATM GUI screen, GUI screen, touch screen is there for the ATM. Do you know, if you want to get a withdraw functionality, here withdraw button will be there. You require withdraw functionality is there. You require to, yes, here just observe that. Here you require to click withdraw function, then automatically how much withdraw you want to take, yes, you will get. Okay, like that. Similarly, if you want to check balance inquiry, corresponding balance inquiry button will be there. By using that, you can able to check. Now my question is, ATM functionality, it's going to represent some functionality. Internally, some application is there, some bank application is there. Being end user, if you want to use that application, we are going to use GUI screen. Correct, Artha? Can you please confirm? We are going to use some GUI screen. Okay, that GUI screen, by using that, you can able to access bank application. That GUI itself is nothing but, sir, it's an interface. Regarding what is that GUI, sir? Graphical user interface. Regarding graphical user interface, I means what? Interface, right? So take a bit very special care. So to use bank application, ATM GUI screen. By using ATM GUI screen, end user can use bank application. Excellent, sir. By using mobile keypad, we can access the functionality. Okay, the functionality of mobile. We can able to use this, sir. So same way, I have one application is there, sir. One software application is there. Observe very carefully, sir. Software application is there, sir. I have one software application is there. Okay. To access this software application, sir, which things are required? Do you know? Suppose he the end user. Assume who is this person, sir? Can you please tell who is this person, sir? Okay, he is the end user. Assume that. Don't tell Durga, sir. Okay, end user. Okay, now, so to use this application by the end user, some UI screen I will provide. Array, if you want to get the marks, then click here. Or otherwise, if you want to update your marks, click here. Something like I will do that, sir. Some interface must be required. Sir, I want this application functionality. I want to use in my Java application. Remember this one, sir. Not a human being. A Java application required. This functionality. Regarding a Java application required this functionality. Question is, how Java application can communicate with this application? Sir, assume that it is the Django application. Django application, right? So a Java application wants to communicate with the Django application. or a mobile application wants to communicate. Assume an Android application wants to communicate with our Django application. So how we can able to do that? For these people, we require to provide some interface. Are you getting? We require to provide some interface. By using that interface, happily Java application can communicate with the Django, mobile application can communicate with the Django, or otherwise Python application can communicate with this application. So this thing itself is nothing but application programming interface. Everyone can able to understand? Please confirm. What is the purpose of API? What is the purpose of API? User application. Okay. From these applications, if you want to access, then interface must. That interface is an API. Okay. If it's the software application, we are going to use API. If it's the normal end user, he may use GUI. Are you getting right? GUI. End user can access by using GUI. So the software applications can able to communicate with this application by using API. So try to get the terminology right. Are you in the position to understand right? What is the meaning of API? Just a simple, sir. One application wants to communicate with another application. One application wants to communicate with another application. Somewhere in the middle, mediator must be required. Somewhere in the middle, so some API must be required. That API, by using that API, now these people can able to communicate with this application. So two different applications, how they can communicate with each other by using API concept. Now observe my words very carefully, sir. So in the last few months, we learned how to develop Django applications. Regarding how to develop Django application, models, views, templates, template tags, next and after that, model manager, next like several things we learned right. Okay. Now at that time, our role is Django application developers. Observe the word very carefully, sir. Django application developers. That role. That's all. We developed applications, sir. Now I want to develop API for this Django application so that any other software application can communicate with my Django. So our application services can be used by some partner applications. For that, I require to develop API. Now my role is API developer. Are you getting right? Our role got changed. Sir, I'm not responsible to develop Django application. Okay, already existing Django application. For that, I want to develop API. By using that API, any person can able to access my Django functionality. So only 2 points you people should be aware, sir. What is the purpose of API? By using API, Java application can communicate with the Django application. Java application can get services of Django application. Okay, mobile application can communicate with the Django application, or mobile application can communicate with Java application. So one application can communicate with another application by using API. The main purpose of API is interoperability. Are you getting right? The main purpose of interoperability. Remember this one, very, very important terminology, right? Interoperability means one application can communicate with another application. Interoperability. Both the people together can work simultaneously. Powerful applications we are in a position to build if you aware REST API. So first get the basic idea. What is API? Any doubt? Forget about REST API. These things I didn't discuss much. Friends, are you in the position to understand that what is the purpose of API? Okay. Now I have one small. So next level. The next word I have to talk about web API. Sir, web API is the same as API only. Sir, I have one web application is there, sir. I have one web application is there. Now, I want to develop API for this web application, so that any person can able to access this application, sir, by using HTTP protocol. So API which is developed to access web application, such type of APIs are called web API or web service. It is the API which can be used to communicate, to get services of web application. Sir, have you observed what is the word? Web service. Oh, it is the service which is provided over the web by some web application. I have Django application is there. Now, so I want to, my Python application wants to communicate with the Django and get some service. For that, we require to develop API. If API concept developed for web applications by using HTTP protocol, my partner application can access my Django application. Such type of thing is by default considered as web API. Are you getting right? Normal API, the application may be standalone application also. But web API means over the web, we should be in a position to access. Such type of APIs are called web APIs. Web API concept is applicable for web applications. Any doubt? Yes? Clear, right? Next, what is the purpose of web API? Very simple, sir. Very simple. I developed one Python application. Now observe this. Now observe a bit carefully, sir. I developed one Python application. Just this is the normal Python application, sir. Normal Python application. Okay? Normal Python application. Now this is Java application I'm taking. Java application wants to communicate. Java application wants to communicate with the Python application. For that, normal API must be required. Normal API must be required, sir. It is not web API. Normal API must be required by using some network socket, some way this person can communicate with this Python application. Right? But now observe carefully, sir. Sir, here already, sir, one web application is already running. Assume that, sir, one web application is already running, sir. Web application already running, sir. Now, so my Java application wants to communicate with this web application. Java application wants to communicate with this web application, so that the services I want, regarding services provided by this application, I want to use in my Java application. For that, API must be required. But this API we are developing for web application. Such type of thing is by default considered as web API, which is also known as web service. Getting right? Priyank. Okay, I will show. Don't worry with the examples. Just keep on listening. Next, here, do you know somewhere? Have you ever booked the tickets in IRCTC application or Book My Show application? Book My Show application. There are several. Or Amazon, like there are several things you did, sir. Do you know in the Book My Show application? So sometimes you may say, don't close browser. Communicating with your bank application, don't close browser, communicating with your bank application, like so just for 20 seconds or 30 seconds your browser is communicating somewhere, regarding Citrix, something like, yes, communicating somewhere, yo, means that Book My Show application communicating with the payment gateway application. Book My Show application communicating with the payment gateway application. How Book My Show application can communicate with payment gateway application? Yes, something must be required. That thing itself is nothing but, okay, web service. Are you getting the point? So if you want, you can say your browser URLs also will be changed during that time. Okay, browser URLs also will be changed during that time. Point into ICICI Bank, point into Access Bank, point into Citrix Bank, payment gateway, like it's going to do that. Next, sometimes it's a very this is one example where you can see, sir. Next, one more. I want to log in. I want to log into some application. Some applications, sir. I don't know some application. I want to log into some application. Do you know somewhere you may see login through Facebook, login through Gmail, Google? Like, have you ever saw these things? Login through Facebook, or Google, social login, social authentication. Have you ever saw, right? So actually, this is Durga app. It is nowhere related to Facebook. Durga application nowhere related to Facebook. Whenever for authentication purpose, this application communicating with the Facebook application for authentication purpose. For authentication purpose, this one is communicating with the Gmail. How Durga app communicates with the Facebook, communicates with the Gmail, so by using web service. Getting, friends? So for the web application, if our application wants to communicate, some API must be required. That API itself is nothing but web API. So we have to develop API for which applications? What is our course name? Boss, what is our course name? Django REST framework. Okay, we have to develop APIs for which applications? Can you please tell? We are API developers, man. We are API developers. For which applications we are API developers? Django applications. Django application, is it a web application or not? Yes. For the web application, if you want to develop API, such a type of thing is by default considered as web APIs, or which are also known as web applications, web services. Web services are web API. Clear, right? Okay, every day, minimum, every day we are using web services, sir. But very unfortunate, we don't know we are using web service. We don't know we are using web service. Sir, mobile is the best example. Every mobile app, so in the mobile app, you are seeing YouTube. You are seeing YouTube. Regarding in the mobile app, you are seeing YouTube. Mobile app communicating with the YouTube. Mobile app communicating with your Facebook. Regarding Facebook, communicating with the Facebook, how it is going to communicate with the Facebook? How it is going to communicate with the YouTube? Some service must be required. Your Android application communicating with the YouTube.com, communicating with Facebook.com, something must be required. That thing is web service. Geo recharge, correct, right? Geo recharge in the mobile, through mobile you can able to recharge. How it is going to work? Everything itself is web service. Okay, practically I will show with an example. Don't worry much about that. Okay, sir, now just listen, have a look once, sir. What I want to do is forget about technology, forget about all these nonsense. I have one application is there, sir. Assume that I have one application is there, Django application. Okay, just try to get the basic terminology right. Here inside views.py, one minute. I have one application is there, okay, without REST. Yeah, here just yes, we can add our own payment gateway. Aryan, possible. Okay, we have multiple applications are there. Maybe is this application is it fulfilled thing or not? I'm not sure. Don't worry, sir. Here this application, okay, not in a position to show, maybe. Okay, one small thing. Okay, we can just maybe in the next session I will show, sir. It's a very simple terminology. Listen this one. I want to develop one Django application. Sir, observe very carefully. I want to develop one Django application. What is this application, sir? Django, yeah. Up to today, how you are sending the request for the Django application? Up to today, how you can send Django application? Okay, we developed Django, it's running. Now open the browser, you can send the request 127 dot and so on, right? Okay, now have a look once. I will show here. I will show just a matter of 1 minute. Don't worry about this one. Here maybe if I will show some application, then you people can feel more comfortable. Sir, here just have a look once. There is one application is there, sir. What is the name of this application? Can you please confirm? What is the name of this application, sir? Without the rest M1. Without the rest M1. Like ICA one application is there, sir. Now in this application, views.py, don't worry much about much functionality. Don't worry about the functionality, sir. Okay. Here it is responsible to provide employee data. It is the responsible to provide employee data based on my requirement, right? Okay. Now I developed one class-based view. Don't worry much about this internal functionality. I will discuss. Let me start the server, sir. 1 minute. So that you will get some basic idea. Yeah, D colon. Okay, REST apps, REST API apps. Now here just without the REST M1 like I'm taking. Let me start the server. Py manage.py run server. Sir, just I'm trying to execute which application? Please confirm. I'm trying to execute which application? Hey, you are silent, man. I'm trying to execute which application? Django application. Correct, right? Just in my system, Django application is ready. So up to today, how you send the request for this Django application? Sir, 127.0.0.1 slash. Do you know how you can where the URL patterns are available? Okay, let me check URL patterns. Okay, here just I'm taking without the rest. This is the test app functionality. Next here URL patterns are there. What is the URL pattern? Slash API is the URL pattern. Okay, slash API. Don't worry, sir. Normal URL pattern. That's all. So now this terminology everyone can get. Sir, I developed one Django application. I started the server. Now I'm sending the request. That's all. Don't worry about these words, whatever I use. Don't worry, sir. Now that's all. Happily, it is providing some data for me. Regarding it is providing some data. Maybe employee information. It is providing, sir. Any doubt? Can you please confirm? All the people are in a position to understand. Now who is getting this data? End user is getting the data, sir. Now end user accessing our application. Suppose there is one more URL pattern is there. Have you remembered? API slash ID is also there, sir. API slash ID is also there. Now what I want to take slash one I'm taking, sir. Slash 1. Okay, first employee information. Employee number 100. Employee name Sunny, employee salary 1000, like this, right? Sir, if I can take two, if I can take 2 like this, right? Okay, now 2, if I can take like this, now happily second employee information we are getting. So this total thing is related to what Django application we developed. That's all. Any doubt about this one? Forget about internal functionality. How I developed? Forget about that. It is almost thousands of times we did in our classes. Okay, well, now I want to access this Django functionality from the Python application. Are you getting? Not a human being. Sir, open the browser, send the request. Sir, up to this we did. Sorry. Okay. So I don't want to provide, okay, not only end user, sir. If you want, you can write one Python application. Python application can send the request. Python application can send the request. Python application can get that response, and happily that response should be used in the Python application. So now my biggest doubt, how the Python application can communicate with the Django application. For that, something must be required. That thing is nothing but web API. Everyone can able to understand, right? Everyone can able to understand, right? Yeah. How many applications are there? Two applications. One is a Django application. Second one is Python application, right? So how the Python application? It is not Python application. Send the request to the Django. Now Django is going to provide, Durga, Python, you required first employee information, right? Please take. Okay, like how one application can communicate with another application. For that, API must be required. But here, this provider is the web application. That's why web API must be required. Any doubt? Are you getting the clarity? The words are clear. Now I want to implement that functionality also. Don't worry, sir. Now I will show. I write one Python application also. Okay, I write one Python application also, sir. Okay. Now here see this one. This is the Python code, sir. This is the Python code, normal Python code. Now let me take our normal test.py. Okay, Durga classes test.py. That's all. It is a normal Python code, sir. Normal Python code. What I'm taking now here, just have a look once, sir. Have a look once. Print data like, sir, base URL, endpoint, something like. Don't worry. Now my question is, what is this one? What is this application? Is it a Python application or Django application? Respond, man. What is the name? Test.py. Is it a Python application or Django application? Python application. Are you getting what is this one? It's the Python application, right? Now, Python application wants to send the request to my Django application. Now, Django will provide some data. That data should be used by my Python application. How, sir? How you can able to do that? Okay. Don't ask any question related to this code. Don't ask any question related to this code. Don't use any words. Just aware it is the Python application. That's answer. Now have a look once, sir. Now let me go to, already I'm in Durga classes, py test.py. Now I'm executing Python code. My Python application can communicate with the Django application. Django application will provide some employee data. That employee data will be displayed, right? Now have a look once. Now observe it very carefully. Now have you observed, right? Now it is from where this data is coming. From where this data is coming? From which application? Django application. This data provided by Django application. This data used by Python application. Now this Python application, how it can use? Okay, very simple. EMP is equal to data of 0. First record, sir. Okay, print of employee name. Print of employee name. Okay, EMP of e-name. EMP of e-name. Like this I'm taking, sir. Similarly, employee number. E-num I'm taking. Sir, employee salary. EMPR is I'm taking. Employee address. EMPR address I'm taking. Now, second employee information we are going to get, sir, from the Django. Okay. Now have a look once. Employee name is Bunny. employee number is 200, employee salary 2000, employee address is Hyderabad. Sir, please make sure this data is not coming from database. Just this person, Python communicating with the Django. Django is responsible to provide this data. Are you in a position to understand? But internally, how that functionality, we will take care. Don't worry. How we can implement, sir? Sir, I don't want second employee data. I want fourth employee data. No problem. Just a 4, endpoint 4. Okay, like let me send the request. Winning 400, 4000, Bangalore, something like this information is going to get. So the important conclusion, what you people should be aware, how the Python application can communicate with the Django application. Some API must be required. That API is nothing but web API. Getting, friends? Practically, forget about JSON, forget about base URL, what is JSON, what is request. Don't ask such type of questions. We are going to spend 40 days. There we are going to discuss each and everything. Just to get the basic idea, top level. Okay? Don't pollute your mind with these new words, unnecessary doubts. Okay? A Python application connecting with the Django. Sir, now Python can talk with the Django application. Now my Python application will become more powerful. Django scope will become more because of this API. So today I developed a Python application. Tomorrow another person developed a Java application. Either Java person can communicate with the Django application or not. Django application or not? Yes, why not? Tomorrow I want to develop one mobile application. This mobile app, Android app also or iOS app also can communicate with the Django application. For that, what we require? So the required thing for this interoperability, what you are going to do is you are developing API. But this API we are developing for web application. That's why we can use the word web API. Clear? So by using web API, Python application can communicate with the Django. Java application can communicate. Mobile application can communicate. Practically, sir, I showed already here. I'm not showing some already existing things. I developed a small application. Now I'm telling. So this API is enough for all the applications. Once you develop an API for your Django application, this API can be used by any technology, any application, no problem at all. Okay, how you can do that? That's what we require to be aware. Clear, right? Standalone application, generally we can use GUI. Anil, for standalone applications, we will use a tkinter, something like GUI. By using that, we can able to get the functionality. Okay, that's it. So now, here the important conclusion. Sir, what is API? What is the purpose of APIs? Okay, now, so two applications can communicate with each other by using API. So if an application wants to communicate with web application, then web API must be required. To develop, yes, 1 minute. Sir, what are the web services we use for API? What are the web service means web server? What are the web servers we use for API? Web server means so Django servers. Any web server we can use. Rajiv, here Django inbuilt server I'm using. Any web server you can use. Resin you can use. Jetty you can use. Apache you can use. Like OHS, like any web server you can use. Okay, then. So now the next thing here later. What is REST? What is the REST API? What is the Django REST framework? These words are very, very important, sir. So REST is just a very top level. REST is an architectural style. Okay, something like do you know it is guidelines. Someone provided guidelines to develop APIs very easily. Web APIs very easily, sir. Lightweight web APIs if you want to develop. Okay, someone provided guidelines. That guidelines is nothing but REST. Okay, it is architectural style. Architecture. It is architecture. Okay, it defines several. It defines several guidelines to develop web APIs very easily. Regarding that, to develop web APIs very easily, so REST defines several guidelines. Okay, just something like a design pattern, something like guidelines. Boss, if you are going to follow this architecture, if you are going to follow these guidelines, then your web applications will be very concise. Web applications will be very web services or web APIs will be very optimal. So there are several guidelines provided by this REST. Remember this one, this REST. There are several guidelines provided by REST. By using that, we can able to communicate. We can able to develop web APIs very easily. Remember that. Okay. So the APIs which are developed by using REST. The APIs which are developed by using REST are called REST APIs. Are called what? REST APIs. Okay, REST API means very simple, sir. The APIs which are developed based on the REST architecture or based on by implementing REST principles. Those APIs are by default considered REST APIs. Any doubt? Regarding that, what is the REST? REST is an architectural style which is responsible to define several guidelines to develop web APIs very easily, sir. Okay, like if here just the APIs which are developed by using REST are called REST APIs. Some people may use RESTful APIs. Both are same. What's there? RESTful APIs or REST APIs. RESTful APIs. Next, to develop RESTful APIs, there are several tools are required. Those tools, who is going to provide, sir? The Django REST framework can provide. The Django REST framework provides several tools to develop RESTful APIs very easily. APIs very easily, like remember this, very easily, like you know, by using this REST framework provide several tools to develop REST APIs very easily. Such type of framework is the Django REST framework. At very top level, what is API? What is the web API or web service? What is the REST? What is the REST API? The Django REST framework you should aware. REST API means nothing. The APIs which are developed by using REST based on REST architecture or based on REST principles are called RESTful APIs. RESTful APIs. RESTful web APIs or RESTful web service, both the things are same. RESTful API or otherwise RESTful web service, RESTful web API or RESTful web service. Java people are going to use RESTful web service, like. Okay, so just try to get the basic terminology, sir. What is API? What is the web API or web service? Sir, what is the REST? REST is an architectural style. Of course, I will discuss some more internal things. Don't worry, sir. REST is an architectural style which defines several guidelines to develop these web APIs very easily. The web API which is developed based on the REST architecture, such type of APIs are called RESTful web services or RESTful APIs. Okay, it is REST is a language independent, sir. Don't feel it is related to Python. RESTful web services are there in Java. RESTful APIs are there even in Python, Django. Like everywhere, this is trending technology. Sir, already REST API, Yahoo Maps, Yahoo Maps is there, which can be accessed from our application by using REST web services only. Most of the web services which are provided by Yahoo is REST. Any doubt? Yes, Django REST framework may here just was already is asking some question something. Do you know web services is a terrible topic for most of the people? Just aware. Is Django REST framework make our life easy to develop, understand compared with the Java RESTful services? Yes, man. Nothing will be there. It's a very easy thing. Okay, which modules we require to use, which libraries we require to use. I will explain why you have to hurry about this terminology. Okay, it's very easy thing, sir. Okay, now, sir, what is the role of API? It's a very clear for you, right? Suppose here have you observed what is the power of API is? Assume that I developed one application, sir. Assume that I developed one Django application. This Django application can be accessed by only end user. Can be accessed by only end user can access. Then what is the scope? What is the scope of this application? The scope of this application is the very less. So this application can be accessed by Java people, can be accessed by Android people, can be accessed by iOS people, can be accessed by some Python, any other technology people happily can access this one. Then what is the scope of this Django application? Are you getting? To make our Django application more powerful. If you are going to define API, then our life will become very simple. This application will become more powerful. Getting, friends? Okay, now just a small thing I will suggest for you. Just have a look once, sir. Sir, I want to develop one application. I want to develop one web application. Just observe that one application I developed, sir. DJ News. Have you remembered somewhere we developed a DJ News? Is it there in the line? Is it there in the line? Django projects OT Durga, like this, right? Yes, it is there. I kept right. Yes, it is there in the line. Just our demo applications are. It is there in the line. Hyderabad jobs. Okay, now observe that. Now Hyderabad jobs information is there, sir. Here at the top, date, company, title, eligibility, address, and so on. Now my requirement is here I want to add one button. Okay, share this information by SMS. Share this information by SMS. One button I want to take, sir. Now take very special care. For every job, I want to take one button. Share this information by SMS. Okay, sir. This is the thing I want to use in my Django application. Can you please tell what I have to do? Please, what we require to do that? I want to get that button. I want to make that button functionality available. Okay, like immediately I will ask SMS service providers. Array, anyone is there? SMS service provider? Anyone there? Like I will ask. Then immediately SMS gateway. Then someone told, yes, we will provide support for 1 lakh SMS messages, 15,000 or 20,000 rupees. Like, yeah, no problem, I will. But how I can use your SMS gateway application in my Django application? Then immediately he is going to provide API. Are you getting? That SMS gateway application person is going to provide API to access that application. Now observe this one. I have Django application is there. So here SMS gateway application is there. Django application should require to communicate with the SMS gateway application to provide SMS service to the end user. How this application can communicate with the SMS application? For that, API must be required. Who is the responsible to provide this API, sir? SMS application provider is the responsible to provide this API. Now are you getting? Now I hope you people can able to understand, right? Sir, if it is the web application, yes sir, this is nothing but web API. By using web application, yes, my Django application can communicate with this. Happily, the service can be used by Django. Same mobile application, same payment gateway application. Sir, I want to offer some what we call paid jobs information. Right? Please pay by credit card, debit card. Then payment gateway application, I want to integrate in my, yes, how you can able to do that? For that, web services must be required. For that, web APIs must be required. Any doubt? Clear? Yeah. So this is what you people should aware clearly, right? Okay. Well, I hope you can able to understand what is the API, what is the web API, sir. Sir, very simple. What is the use? What is the role of this API? How the things are going to work? Just with a small chota example, I want to discuss for you people. Right? Just observe that. Do you know what is the world population? Anyone can you please tell? What is the world population currently? Almost around the 700 plus crores of people are there. 700 plus crores of people are there in the world, sir. Remember that. Yes, 7.3 billion, 700 crores of people. Do you know these 700 crores of people? Is there any person in the world can communicate with any other person? Is it possible? Is it possible? Any person in the world, is it possible to communicate with any other person? No way. No way. Our language is the different. Our language is the different. Their language is the different. Are getting n number of barriers are available, sir. Okay, if you move in India, we have almost around 16-20 languages are there, sir. If I will move 400 kilometers away from Hyderabad, I'm not in a position to communicate with the Tamil people. I'm not in a position to communicate with Kannada people as long as if I don't know Kannada, if I don't know Tamil. If they don't know, there is luckily some English, chota English language is there luckily, right? Okay. So important point here is in the world, any person can't communicate with any other person. Okay, not possible, right? Assume that any person can communicate with any other person. 700 plus crores of people, no restrictions, right? They can able to understand. Some common language is there. Any person can able to understand with any person. If you have such a type of thing, how beautiful it is. Are you getting right? How beautiful it is. Just observe that. Any person, I can talk with the North Korea person. I can talk with the South Korea person. I can talk with the Japanese person. I can talk with the UK person, Philippines person. Because we have some common languages there. Okay? Without any translator, we have some common languages there. Then automatically, yes, how the business scope, how the growth you can expect. But very unfortunate, such a type of thing is not there. Such a type of thing in the human interaction not there, sir. But in software applications, that thing is possible, man. I have one Java application is there, Python application is there, .NET application is there, like this, right? Just observe that. I have one Java application is there, which is running on Linux platform. Assume that, sir, which is running on Linux platform. I have one Python application is there, which is running on Mac. Okay, I have one Windows application is there. Okay, C# .NET application is there, which is running on Windows. Like Sir, now I have another application is there, maybe SAP based application is there, which is running on Linux. Assume that, sir. Now, sir, this person can communicate with this person. This person can communicate with this person. This person. Every person in the world can communicate with any other person, irrespective of their language, irrespective of their platform. That thing is possible because of API's concept. Regarding any person can communicate with any other person in the world, that thing is possible because of API concept. So what is the common language between all these people, sir? There should be some common language must be required. That common language is nothing but HTTP, sir. Remember this one, that common language itself is HTTP. Java application can aware HTTP. .NET application can aware HTTP. Python, Django, Flask, any application can aware common language. What is that common language, right? HTTP, sir. Next, what is common message format where every person can able to understand? What is the common message format where every person can able to understand? What is the common message format is XML or JSON like. Okay, XML or JSON. JSON means JavaScript object notation. Okay, in the old application, XML is the most common, but these days JSON is the most common because of less what we call because of performance, because of more performance, because of lightweight JSON itself is the more commonly used message format, right? Okay, by using HTTP common language and the JSON common message format, sir, all the people in the world can communicate with each other. All software applications in the world can communicate with each other. Such type of thing is nothing but okay, web service or API concept. Getting right? Now I have one small doubt. One small doubt. Here, listen bit very carefully, sir. Just now I showed one application for you. One application for you. Sir, which application I showed? Can you please just remind? Yes, friends? Sir, here just now I showed Python app communicated with the Django app. Regarding how the Python app communicated with the Django app, just observe that. Let me show the Python code. If I show the Python code, this is the Python code, sir. What is this one? Can you please tell? What is this one? Yes, friends. What is this one? HTTP protocol. Regarding HTTP protocol, so it is sending GET request by using this HTTP protocol. Okay, like now what this person getting? JSON data. Regarding what this person getting? JSON data. JSON data. Now let me show this application. This application use function. Regarding this application use function return HTTP response. Which data this person is sending? Which data this person is sending? Can you please confirm which data this person is sending? JSON data. Regarding JSON data, Django application is sending. This is JSON data can able to understand by Python. Regarding common message format between these two persons, either JSON or XML also. But in this application, I'm using JSON. Next, here you know by using which protocol Java application can communicate with the Django. Yes, that is HTTP. The protocol itself is nothing but common language between these two persons, right? So everyone in the position to understand what is the purpose of how the applications can communicate with each other by using API concept. If it is a web application, we require to talk about web API. Clear, right? Yeah, we know the need not be. Now, so how to develop these APIs, we will discuss, sir. Okay, that is the part of our course. Now we are not Django developers, we are Django API developers. Are you getting? Already Django application is there. I want to provide API. How we can able to do that? API developers. Have you ever involved in API? Have you ever worked with Django REST API, REST framework? You should aware. To perform put operation, write API. To perform delete operation, write API, REST API. To get the data, write API. Okay, like we have to provide endpoint like get, post, put, and so on. All these things we have to discuss. Almost first 1 week to 10 days, I will discuss what the REST framework is doing without using REST framework. Observe my words. What the REST framework is doing without using REST framework, I want to discuss. Sir, once if you aware without REST framework, what the things are, how the things going on, at last, if you want, I will explain REST framework. Regarding that, if you want, I will explain REST framework. Okay, REST framework, I want to develop my own framework, so without using REST, so that you will get much clarity in the concept. Once, so everything ground level is the clear, how REST framework is going to simplify our life, that part I will take care. Okay. Yes, authentication also we will do that. Authentication token mechanism is there, we will. Next, REST is one architectural style. REST is one architectural style. Okay, which provides guidelines to develop APIs very easily. Next, I told very clearly, sir, if you want to attend this course, compulsory you people should be aware the Django and the Python. Yes, someone asked this out. Without knowing the Django, without knowing Python, you can't attend this course. At the beginning, I told the same. Compulsory you people should be aware both. Sir, I know only Python. I don't know Django. Sorry, this course is not. Getting right? Yeah. Yes, for each and everything material you can expect. Whatever, I hope you people got the Django material, right? Yes, the same way REST framework material also I will share. Don't worry. Yeah. Okay, that's all. Yeah, Yuvraj, compulsory you should aware Django and Python. Just contact our people to get material and videos. Course duration almost around a minimum 30 days to 45 days. And after completing every day, you will get the video. And from the drive, you can download the videos. In the last session, just I introduced the basic terminology. What is API? What is web API? Or sometimes we can use the word web service. Sometimes we use the word web service. Next, what is REST? Next, what is the RESTful API? RESTful API and the Django REST framework. Okay, these words we discussed in the last session, right? Sir, anyway, whether it is a web API or API or RESTful API, everything just aware only one point, sir. Two different applications, okay, two applications can communicate with each other. So something must be required for that communication. What is that concept? Is API concept. A Java application can communicate with the Django application by using web API. So mobile application, Android application can communicate with our Django application, okay, by using web API. To develop web APIs, to develop this web API, so REST defines several guidelines, to develop web services, web APIs very easily. Okay, so the APIs which are developed by using REST, is by default considered as RESTful API. Okay, observe that. Next, what about Django REST framework, sir? Django REST framework, it provides a toolkit. Are you getting? It provides toolkit to develop RESTful APIs very easily. RESTful APIs very easily. Sir, Django REST framework provides a toolkit to develop RESTful APIs very easily, right? That's what you people should be aware. Okay. Now there is a next level. What is the next concept? I mean, it's a libraries only. Toolkit means not. It's a set of libraries, a set of modules. Happily, we can allow to use the Django REST framework. Will provide some coding support. Okay, which is nothing but libraries only. Okay. Now, I have one very important point. In the last sessions, we covered very clearly about these points, sir. Do you know, sir, if multiple applications can communicate with each other, there should be some common language must be required. Regarding there should be some common language must be required. Can you please spell out what is the common language we are using? Anyone, can you please spell out, sir? Especially web APIs. What is the common language we are going to use? The common language. Common language, okay, which can be known by any person is HTTP. Remember this, the common language is always what? HTTP. Next, the common message format is JSON, next R, XML, okay, like JSON, XML, etc. HTTP is a protocol, HTTP is a common language, what the people are going to use, what different applications can use. Next, the message format should be JSON or XML, right? Okay, that's all. This is just the small general words, whatever we discussed in the last sessions, right? Next, a bit very important for the interview room sake. Okay, just aware, just theoretical touch. Anyway, we are going to discuss in detail while implementation is going on. Don't worry, sir. How many types of web services are there? Very important question for the interview room, sir. How many types of web services are available? Anyone, can you please tell? Yes, friends. Anyone, how many types of web services are available? Anyone, can you please tell? There are two types of web services are available. Just aware that there are two types of web services are available. What is the first one, sir? SOAP based web services. SOAP based web services. Second one, sir, RESTful APIs, RESTful web services. Are you getting right? RESTful web services, right? There are two types of web services are there. The first one SOAP based, second ones are RESTful. But anyway, we require to discuss about RESTful only. But still, I want to touch this area because in the interview room, sometimes maybe a chance to ask this question. That's why compulsory you people should aware, sir. Okay, can you please tell SOAP based at very top level? SOAP based is the old concept. I mean, not old, sir. SOAP based is the having some problems. Earlier, it's the most commonly used, but these days the trending type of web services are RESTful only. Okay, immediately you may ask what problems are there with the SOAP based, sir? Anyone, can you please tell? There are, I hope, several people who are coming from Java background especially. You may be aware what are various problems are there with the SOAP. Yes. Good. What are various problems are there with the SOAP based? First, what is the SOAP? What is the SOAP? Simple. Can you please tell? Simple object access protocol. Simple object access protocol. This is the SOAP. SOAP means simple object access protocol. Like, sir, what is the problems with the SOAP? Why the people are always using these days RESTful only? The reason for that is SOAP is always XML based. Remember this one, sir, very important. SOAP is always based on XML based, sir. It's always going to provide message format only in XML format. So SOAP web service is always going to accept the data only in XML based. It is XML based. So next, XML is the, sir, you know, heavyweight component. It is not lightweight, sir. Heavyweight component XML, because in the XML message, if you observe the original message, there is at the top you can see envelope. Regarding at the top you can see envelope. It is normal data, how much is there? Extra information is that much is there in the XML, sir. XML, the biggest problem is heavyweight. Regarding heavyweight, sir. Heavyweight, first thing. The second thing is in web services, the data should travel over the internet, over the network via internet. The data is required to travel from, sir, provider application to consumer application. The data is required to travel. If it is the heavyweight, then the biggest problem is bandwidth. High bandwidth requirements will be there. Regarding high bandwidth requirements will be there. Okay. Next, do you know? So parsing XML data, parsing XML data. Like, do you know parsing XML data itself is not that much easy. So it required, obviously, performance is going to be, sir, is going to be affected. It is so performance, the processing will become slowed down. Just take a bit very special case. So in the SOAP based web services, okay, so it is always XML based, heavyweight components. That's why more network bandwidth requirements will be there. Next, more network bandwidth requirements will be there. Parsing XML, okay, is a bit slow process. So obviously it is going to be affected. Its performance will be affected, right? Next, implementing SOAP-based web services. Implementing SOAP-based web services are very complex, not that much easy, sir. Remember this one. Implementing SOAP-based web services are a bit complex. Okay, like, so because of several problems, the people are not commonly used SOAP-based web services these days. Remember this one, sir. Okay, like. Next, we know SOAP is the vendor specific, need to follow their own protocols and no common protocols. No, need not be. We know SOAP. We can so common protocols also will be there. Need not be vendor specific. Okay. What parsing? Parsing means converting XML data into, suppose I'm writing a Python program. I want to parse XML data. I have to read XML data. Whatever there in the XML. So that is reading XML data. Okay, is by default considered as parsing. Getting right, Suresh? Reading the data, and we require to use that data. First, I have to read that data XML to our Python object. I want to convert, which is nothing but parsing. Okay, there is one here, just observe. So SOAP is XML based protocol for accessing web services. Next, to describe web services, very important, sir. To describe web services, compulsory we should have one special language. Anyone can even to describe, to expose our web services. So based, there is one common, there is one language we have to aware. That person is the responsible to expose the services. Do you know? Have you heard about this one? Web service. Have you heard about this one, sir? Web service description language, WSDL. Are you getting WSDL? WSDL. Some people may use WSDL. WSDL means, do you know which should use? We require to use that WSDL to expose web services to the web services to the partner applications. Remember that. So based, there are multiple problems are there. To overcome these problems, compulsory we should go for next level. What is that concept, sir? REST. But anyway, sir, do you have any advantage of SOAP based when compared with REST? Do you have any advantage of SOAP based? Yes, there is one biggest advantage is there, sir. The data, do you know, more secured. Remember this one, when compared with REST, if it's the SOAP based, the data is more secured, right? Okay, so no one is going to hamper my data over the network. It's the more secure when compared with the REST based web services. Clear? So if any person is asking, if any person is asking, what is the difference between SOAP based and SOAP? What are various limitations of SOAP based? Very simple, sir. It's always XML based. Next and after that, XML data parsing is very difficult. Implementing SOAP based web services are difficult. Next, heavy weight component of this XML. Okay, like performance is going to be down. Then obviously it is the slow type of web services. So slow type, not that much fast when compared with the RESTful web services, right? Next, what are various advantages? Can you please tell? What are various advantages of SOAP based when compared with the first important point you have to tell? More security. The data will be sent. The data will be sent, maybe some encrypted form or otherwise maybe. So there is some envelope style will be there, maybe. So it is the more secured when compared with the REST. One important point. Second advantage is there, sir. What is the second advantage is? Yes, sir. Here just to take very special care. There is a second advantage is also there for the SOAP. If you consider our REST, REST is always based on HTTP, sir. Remember this one. Of course, the people are going to tell REST supported any protocol which has URI. Means, sir, HTTP only. Okay, REST out of 100, sir, 99.99% of the times, REST is always based on HTTP. REST is always based on HTTP, sir. Remember this one. But if you consider SOAP, SOAP can provide support for multiple protocols. Remember this one. SOAP can provide support for multiple protocols. Like HTTP can be supported. Next and after that, you know, SMTP can be supported. FTP can be supported. Like that. So please make sure these two are main important advantages, right? Of course, HTTP will provide support means HTTP yes also. Praveen, HTTP yes is a special form of HTTP only. Okay. Any doubt? Yeah. Vasadev Reddy, welcome. Don't worry. So we are always going to work with URL and URI, these kind of things. Don't worry. So in our next level, it will come. WSDL means Web Service Description Language. Okay, Web Service Description Language. The name itself indicates, right? So to describe our web services, to expose our web services to the partner application, there should be some special language must be required. That special language itself is WSDL. The data, internal data format supported by SOAP based web services is more secure than REST web services. Sima, getting right? XML data is more secure than JSON, something like. Okay. So can you please observe that? can you please observe just because anyway we are not going to implement SOAP based, just theoretically, just you people should be aware, sir. So can you please tell what are various problems with the SOAP based web services? SOAP based web services will always provide data only in XML format. Only in XML format. Parsing XML data is very slow, which creates performance problems. Point number 1. Transfer of XML data over network requires more bandwidth. Okay, transferring data from provider to consumer, transferring XML data required more bandwidth. Next, implementing SOAP-based web services are very difficult. Okay, next, what are various advantages of SOAP-based when compared with the rest? What advantages you can able to tell, sir? The first biggest advantage, more secure. More secure. Second advantage, supports various protocols. Supports various protocols. Okay, remember, supports various types of protocols like HTTP, FTP, SMTP, like multiple protocols are supported by SOAP-based web services. That's all. So if we implement it, then we should be in a position, okay, to tell more detail. But anyway, at the part of Django, we are not having any such type of requirements. So that's why don't worry about that. Just aware for the interview room sake these words. Getting right? Yeah. We know maybe. Any there is no length limit for data. If it is a SOAP-based like so maybe. The people especially who are coming from Java background, they can able to tell very easily, sir. Okay. Now, what is the next cinema? REST web services, right? So RESTful web services. Here, just observe that RESTful web services. Sir, can you please tell what is REST? Any abbreviation is there for the REST? Any abbreviation there for the rest? Remember this one. Representational state transfer. Observe it very carefully, sir. Representational state transfer. Okay, rest means representational state transfer. Okay, it means each unique URL is associated with, is a representation of some object. Okay, remember that each URL is a representation of an object. Object means resource, right? Object means resource. Representation of an object. Next, we can get the contents of this object. Sir, I want to get content of this object by using get. Okay, if you want to create a new resource, by using post. If you want to update that content, by using put. If you want to delete that comment, delete that content, delete that object, then automatically delete. Have you observed? All these things are by default considered HTTP verbs. We will discuss in detail. Don't worry about these words. Okay. So each URL is the representation of an object. By using HTTP verbs, we can perform operations related to that object. Okay. So what is the REST? REST itself is nothing but what? Representational state transfer, where each URL is the representation of an object. By using HTTP verbs, we can perform operations related to that object, right? Okay, well, now immediately you may ask, sir, what are various advantages are there? If I follow, what are various advantages are there? If I follow REST web services, right? The first biggest advantage, please make sure, sir, the first biggest advantage is what is the limitation in the SOAP-based web services? What are the limitations, sir? It's always going to provide supports data in XML based. But here, most of the REST web services are JSON. Remember this one. JSON. Okay, most of the RESTful web services are always going to provide the data in the form of JSON. Okay, XML and JSON. What is the difference? Is XML is the heavyweight, sir. XML itself is the heavyweight. JSON itself is lightweight. Remember this one: heavyweight, lightweight components. Okay, a simple, sir. I will show maybe in my system, maybe there somewhere. 1 minute. Observe that. This is emp.xml. emp.xml. Yes, sir. Employees data is available in the form of XML. Assume that, sir. Assume it is the XML form. But the same thing, if I can go for JSON, have you observed, right? Are you seeing? So just have you observed the difference, right? If I can go for XML, how the data looks like? Sir, just 100. This one is going to be sir, field name is equal to ... and so on. But if I can take the same thing by using JSON, okay, here JSON, have you observed, right? Very simple. Okay, this is so, which is the heavyweight, which is the lightweight. Now by seeing this terminology, you are in a position to understand, sir. So JSON itself is lightweight. Remember this one, lightweight. Okay, if it is the lightweight, happily traveling over the network will become very easy. Parsing will become very easy. Do you know, when compared with the SOAP-based web services, sir, the biggest advantage of RESTful web services here, do you know, it requires less bandwidth to send JSON data from provider to consumer. One thing. Next, it is the speed. Performance is more. Speed is more when compared with the SOAP-based web services, right? Okay, transfer of JSON data over the network required less bandwidth, less bandwidth, sir. Okay, like so here this is next. We had to expose our services. Okay, some special language must be required in the SOAP. What is that special language? WSDL. WSDL. Regarding WSDL must be required. Web service description language. But here, no such type of requirement. Directly we can expose our web services by using URLs. We can expose directly. No special language like this type of thing is not there. So less lightweight. Next, and after that, less bandwidth requirements. Next, more performance, high performance. I can use high performance. Next, any other special words related to the RESTful web services? Because of lightweight, high performance, less bandwidth requirements. Next, easy development. Remember this one, easy development. Next, human understandable message format. Human understandable message format. Do you know? If I will give some just XML data, array, can you please read? If I can give JSON data, yes, everyone can able to understand. So human understandable message format. So these are keywords related to RESTful web services, right? What is the first keyword? Lightweight. But if it's the SOAP based, high weight, heavyweight. Sir, here less bandwidth, but there more bandwidth requirements. Sir, high performance, but there low performance. Easy development, but their development will become more complex. Next, human understandable message format. XML data is understandable, but when compared with the JSON, readability is low. Getting? So because of these benefits, the most commonly used type of web services are RESTful web services. Okay, but anyway, sir, all these words slowly while our course is going on, you can get much clarity, sir. Okay, so for SOAP based web services, Django won't provide any inbuilt support. For to develop REST web services, yes, sir, definitely this is going to provide. Django is going to provide Django REST framework, because REST is our future. Okay, SOAP is was the history. Remember that, very rare the people are going to use. Everywhere if you go for interview, rest is the, it's a very common terminology because of these added advantages, right? Yes, obviously, Shashank. Are you getting right? Now, can you please tell, there may be some problems also related to the rest. One problem is one problem is less secure when compared with less secure when compared with lesser security is lesser when compared with okay, like next, and after that there is one more limit. Do you know, if it is a SOAP, it provides support for multiple protocols. But SOAP services happily you can expose, you can expose by using HTTP, you can consume by using HTTP, FTP, SMTP. But REST web services supports only protocols which has URI, which is nothing but something like HTTP. Mostly it is the HTTP, sir. SMTP, sorry, not possible. FTP, sorry, not possible. Like this, right? Okay. Next, there is one more difference. We know this telling. So in the case of here, data, there is a limit is there on the data what we are going to send. Okay. Limit restriction is there. Limited amount of data. I'm not sure. Let me cross check again. Let me cross check. But anyway, just aware. Limited amount of data only we can send by using REST web services. The amount of data transferred from consumer to producer or producer to consumer is always there is some limit is there, but which is not having limit there. Getting right? Yeah. Okay, so why I'm telling this point is because if you go to the interview room, if any person is asking, do you know API, REST API, then immediately next question, what's the difference between SOAP based and what we call REST based web services? Even we never implemented, but still we should be in a position to answer. Just the basic idea at very top level, just aware. Getting that anyway, the required things we are going to implement, don't worry. Just now, are you in the position to talk few minutes about SOAP based web services and RESTful web services, right? Yes, friends. Yeah. Yes, REST is less secure when compared with SOAP. Okay, so just observe all the differences. I want to take into a small table form. Okay, class, if you want, you can take. I will include in our material. Don't worry about that, sir. So just observe a bit carefully about this one. Okay, now here just have a look once, sir. What is the SOAP based? What is the SOAP based? And then what is the rest? Just providing SOAP based and the rest. So the first point, sir, it is always so XML based message protocol. Correct or not? XML based sir, message XML based message protocol. So itself is XML based, sir, protocol. But REST it is not a protocol, sir. It's not a protocol. It is architectural style. It is architectural style. Okay, architectural style. It is one architecture, sir. Okay, it's not protocol. It's not protocol. It is architectural style. It is not a protocol, sir. Next, second important thing, sir, it uses WSDL for communication between consumer and the provider. Okay, a special language required. What is that special language, right? WSDL. Okay, WSDL required to expose our services so consumer and the provider can communicate sir with a special language WSDL. Okay, like sir, other side we are not do you know, sir, we are not going to use any WSDL. Remember this one. So no such type of special language requirement. No special language requirement, right? Okay, no WSDL is required. In this case, it's not required, sir. Next, here you know how to invoke services. Very important point. In the case of SOAP based web services, if you want to access any SOAP-based web service, how you can, the partner application has to perform RPC calls by using RPC method calls. RPC method calls we can consume SOAP-based web services. Okay, so based web services we can consume SOAP-based web services, right, by using RPC protocol. But if it is the rest, we are not required to use any method calls, man. Directly by using URL path, we can consume, sir. We can consume by using URL path. We can consume, okay, rest of services. Here have you observed, right? Sir, here WSDL requirement is there, but here no such type of requirement. Sir, how you can access, right, by using RPC method calls? Have you observed, right? So RPC method calls which may be the reason why SOAP-based web services are very secure. But here any person with a URL, any person can able to access RESTful web service, right? That may be the reason why these are not secure. Any person can able to access, but here by using some special RPC method calls, these SOAP-based web services can be accessible. Okay, like next fourth point, sir. Fourth one, sir. Here does not return human readable result. Correct, right? So does not return human readable result. Okay, but here the message format is always what? JSON. It is always human readable. Very easily the people can able to understand, right? Next, these are heavyweight. I can use the word heavyweight. Heavyweight is XML based, but this one is lightweight. Lightweight. Observe that this is the heavyweight and this is lightweight. Next, requires more bandwidth. More bandwidth requirements. But here less bandwidth requirements. Less bandwidth requirements. Just observe that, sir. Less bandwidth requirements. Next one, sir, can provide support for multiple protocols. Can provide support for multiple protocols like HTTP, SMTP, like HTTP, SMTP, FTP, etc. Can provide support for multiple protocols like sir, HTTP, SMTP, FTP, but can provide support only for protocols which are having URI, which is nothing but mostly HTTP, right? Okay. Now performance is, can you please tell, performance is more or performance is less? Oh, respond. More performance or less performance? Less performance. Performance is less. Less performance, right? But the same in reverse, okay, high performance or more performance. We can expect more performance, right? Okay, more performance. Next, security wise, yes, more secure, but here lesser secured. Are you getting? But here lesser secure. That's all. Next, one more thing, sir. Here just I require to cross check, sir. Here there is no limit on data, no limit on length of the data. Okay, I require to cross check this point anyway, right? Okay. Now here there is a limit on length of data. Correct. I hope it is going to be acceptable. The reason for that is in the case of so by using HTTP protocol only we require to send the data. Obviously at the end somewhere there should be some limits. Somewhere there should be some limit. But it is by using XML, a special format is going to be used to transfer data. That's why maybe there may not having any limit on length of the data. Okay, clear, friends? Yes, that's all. So based RESTful web services, but without implementing, we didn't implement single sub-based, single REST-based web service, but still we should be in a position, okay, to talk at least some few points in the interview room, okay. Once, okay, we covered at least the REST implementation. At the end, we may require to recheck again all these points, okay. Don't worry about that. Getting right? Any doubt? So that's all. This is one question. At least we should act like yes, we know. So based web services, REST-based web services. We know that. At least that related terminology we are going to use. That's what you people should aware, sir. Do you know most of the Google web services? Most of the Google web services are so based, sir. Remember this one. Most of the Google web services are so based only. Maybe security, maybe criteria. I'm not sure. Most of the Yahoo based web services are Yahoo based web services are REST, sir. Do you know you may use eBay, Amazon. These web services are they are using both. Sometimes they are using SOAP. Sometimes they are using REST. Do you know? So these days, but anyway, more frequent. Any doubt? All the people are in a position to understand, right? Okay. Just there is one more small point I have to talk about these things. Do you know? Just HTTP methods. Regarding HTTP methods, some people may use the word HTTP verbs also. Verbs like this, right? So suppose I'm sending HTTP request. Now have a look once, sir. I want to send a HTTP request. HTTP request. I'm just taking one HTTP request, sir. So here web application is there. I'm sending HTTP request. Sometimes our requirement is to get the data from the server. Sometimes our requirement is to put the data to the server. Sometimes our requirement to delete the data which is there in the server side, or to update the data which is there in the server. So which operation we are performing, based on that we have to use corresponding HTTP method or HTTP verb. Remember this one, sir. We require to use corresponding HTTP method or HTTP verb. Methods are verbs. Anyway, the people are going to use. So what are various HTTP verbs are possible? Just aware clearly, right? What are various HTTP verbs? Verbs are possible. Do you know? Get, sir, post. Have you remembered from our childhood onwards? You know what the difference between get and post. What the difference between get and post? Most important question for the entire room. Get, post. Next, put. Regarding put. Next, do you know there is one more word very important, sir? Patch. Next, and after that, delete. Just observe. These are most commonly used. Some more things are there. These things I will discuss. First, let me show some idea, right? Sir, get means, do you know? Sir, get I'm talking. Get means to get one or more resources. I want to get one or more, to get one or more resources. Sir, suppose employee data is there. I want to get one employee record, or I want to get all employee records. I want to get all employee records. Then we require to go for get, sir. Next, post means to create a new resource. To create a new resource, then we require to go for post. Remember this one. Sir, I want to create a new resource. Then we have to do that. Post like this, right? I want to create a new employee. I want to create a new employee. This is about my requirement, right? How you can. Okay, well. Sir, similarly, put is there. Similarly, put is there, sir. 1 minute. Just I want to show. Have a look once, sir. Do you know? Forget about this code. Forget about this code, sir. Just I'm commenting this. Have a look once. This code especially. Forget. We will discuss all these things in detail, sir. Do you know which request I'm taking? Can you please tell which request I'm taking? R is equal to request dot get. So what I'm asking is, boss, can you please get the first employee record information? Can you please provide first employee record information? Sir, I'm asking about get. Get means to get the data from the server. Okay, to get the data from the server. First employee information, like this, right? If you are not going to specify this part, no, boss, I want to get all employees data. I want to get all employees data, like that, right? Both. So to get one employee record or to get all employee records, we should require to go for get. Okay, well. Next, sir, take very special care. Forget about. Let me comment this code. Let me comment this. All these things I have to explain in our course. Don't worry about this, because these examples I covered for offline students. Now have a look once, sir. Here, what is this one? A Python. Please respond. What is this one? A Python dictionary. A Python dictionary. Employee number, employee name, employee salary, employee address. Okay, right? Now, which method I'm calling? Can you please read this one? Request dot post. Request dot post data is equal to new employee. Are you getting? Data is equal to new employees. Can you please create this new employee in the database? In the database, for that, which thing must be required? Sir, post is required to aware. Are you getting the clarity? Friends, what is the difference between get and post? Practically, you can. If you want to get one resource, then we require to go for get. If you want to create a new resource, then we have to go for post. Can you please tell when we should go for put? Please confirm. When we should go for put. Good. To update your resource. To update your resource. I want to update your resource. Then we have to go for put, sir. I want to perform updation. Boss, employee salary, employee address, employee number. Can you please update? Can you please update? Then we require to go for put method. Sir, can you please tell when we should go for patch? I hope first time in REST API only I heard this word. Okay, first time only I heard this word. Okay, a few days before, but luckily we should be good. Patch. The people who are already familiar with web services, they may aware these words or this terminology. When we should go for patch? When we should go for patch? Best example, sir. Do you know on the road? Sometimes on the road. Just the patches they are going to keep. Patches. Regarding patches, patch means is it partial or full? Have you observed? Partial or full? Just partial. Just a small patch on the road they are going to just keep. So something like partial update. Full updates means put method. Partial update means patch method. Remember this one, sir. Observe the difference. Suppose just change employee salary. One or two properties. That's all. Hey, can you please change 10 properties? 10 properties. Update 10 properties. Put method. So one or two properties. Patch is the method. Next, can you please delete a resource? To delete a resource, then we should go for delete. Okay. Please make sure these methods, HTTP methods, are very commonly used. HTTP verbs are most commonly used in our REST API. Are you getting right? If you want to get the resource, get is the method we require to use, or get verb we require to use. If you want to create a resource, post. If you want to perform updation, put. If you want to perform partial updation, patch. If you want to delete, then obviously delete is the word. You should have clear clarity, right? Sir, what about remaining HTTP methods? These are the only HTTP methods? These are the only HTTP methods? No, there are multiple other things also available. Options. Regarding options, next the head. Options, head, connect, trace, connect, trace. Okay, move, lock, profind, move, lock, profind. Like there are multiple things are available. But anyway, these things are related. These are the most commonly used, but these things are very rarely. Don't worry much about. If you are going to use, then I will explain in detail. Sir, partial updation and a full updation. Suppose employee is there, sir. For the employee, almost around 10 fields I want to update. 10 fields I want to update. It is the major updation only. Then better to go for put method. Sir, I want only one or two properties. One or two properties I want to update. Then better to go for patch. Patch means, sir, just one or two, a small updation. Then we should go for patch. On the Kishore, getting? Yeah. Sir, what about these are various HTTP methods, right? You should have clear, right? So limit maybe as of now. So just partial updates means patch. While implementing, we will discuss if there is a limit and so on. Getting, friends? Okay. Now one more small important point I have to discuss. Sir, do you know database CRUD operations? Have you heard about this one? Database CRUD operations. CRUD operations. It's a very common, sir. In the REST API, CRUD. Do you know sometimes total REST API is going to talk about CRUD only. Okay, that's why you should have clear clarity. What says HTTP verbs? HTTP verbs, sir. So now my question is C. If I use a C, what is the C? C means what? Create. Can you please create a new resource? For this, which method we require to use? Hey, which HTTP verb we require to use? Just now I told. Create a new resource. Create a new resource. Post is the thing we require to use. Next, sir, R. R means what? Retrieve. R means retrieve. R, read. For this, which HTTP method we have to use? Retrieve, read. Which HTTP method we require to use? Get. Get is the method. U means update, sir. Update operation. For this, which HTTP method we have to use? Which HTTP method we require to use? Put R patch. Put R patch. D means delete, sir. D means delete. Okay, like delete. For this, which thing must be required to use, right? Delete. That's it. Okay, these are, sir, just the CRUD operations versus HTTP methods, because very commonly we are going to use. Yes, better to get a clarity. Getting up to this, any doubt? Okay, that's all. So now the next thing what I have to discuss. Sir, up to this, what the difference between web services? What the difference between types of web services? Next, what is the HTTP verbs? What we have to use and so on. Like all these things are very clear, right? Next, one more small word I have to discuss for you people, right? You can very easily able to understand. You can very easily can able to understand, right? Okay, what that? It is the stateless only. Was they already stateless only? We will discuss that. Okay. What is the next? A small thing I have to discuss. Sir, web service provider. Web service provider versus web service consumer. Nothing is there, sir. Very easily you can able to understand. The person who is going to consume is called consumer. The person who is going to, the person who is going to provide is by default considered as provider. Okay, simple, sir. If you consider, okay, the application which is providing web services is called web service provider. The application which is consuming web services is called web service consumer. The person who is going to consume, that person is called consumer. The person who is going to produce, that person is called provider. Okay, well, provide. Best example, if I consider book my show application, just observe that, sir. Book my show app is there. Book my show app is required to communicate with the payment gateway application. Payment gateway applications. Book my show app required to communicate with the payment gateway application through web services. Okay, well, now the point is, in this scenario, who is the consumer, who is the provider? Who is the consumer, who is the provider? Can you please confirm? Yes, payment gateway is the provider. Book my show application is the consumer, because this person require services of payment gateway. That's why. So book my show itself is consumer person. This person is called the provider. Observe carefully, sir. Any doubt? Okay, because very commonly used word, consumer, provider, like nothing. It is just providing clarity. Beyond that, nothing, sir. Okay. So very simple. Let me go for. Let me talk about, sir, a simple application level things. But before that, one small thing I have to discuss with you. What is our topic name? Django. Please confirm. Django REST framework. Regarding Django REST framework or REST API. So first, almost around 10 classes. Okay, I want to explain web services. I want to explain web services without the REST API. Regarding, I don't want to use REST framework. I don't want to use REST framework. I want to explain how to create my own web services. Django, purely by using Django, I will explain, sir. Once you are getting the clarity, okay, about what is web API, how to develop web APIs, and so on, then, okay, I will use REST framework so that you can aware, internally these things can be done very easily with this framework. That the maja you can able to get, sir. Regarding, so tomorrow my client may tell, oh, don't use any framework, you have to create your own API, your own web API you require to create. Can you please develop? Write API for put operation, write API for delete operation, like this, right? So how we can able to do that? Okay, first I will develop web API on my own. Better to consider Durga web services. Once you aware these web services, next how you can use a Django REST framework to develop web APIs, I will explain, so that the maja of this REST framework you can get. Next, without REST framework, still we are in a position to develop web APIs for our application. Any doubt? Friends, are you in the position to understand, right? Okay, simple. By using Django only, I want to develop web APIs. I don't want to use REST framework. I don't know the terminology of REST framework. First 10 sessions. So if everything you are going to do on your own, you will get much clarity on the subject. Okay, once you are getting full clarity, then I will introduce REST framework. So these the things whatever we did manually, these things now automated by using this framework, so that our life will become very easy. Next, internally what thing is happening, you will get much clarity. That's why I want to do difficult part at the beginning, and then sir easy part at the next level. Is it good programming, right? So that you will get internal things, Next, tomorrow, future is always easiness will be there. Okay, that's why. So first 10 sessions, I don't want to use any rest of framework. Okay, simple how to develop the things I will explain, sir. So first let me habitize some programming terminology, okay, to start our coding. What I have to do is, how many new members are there who are not my old Django students, either directly or indirectly? Sir, I never heard, I learned Django somewhere else. I came here only for REST API. Anyone there in this session? Ayo. Can I expect everyone either directly or indirectly? My Django students only. Subbu, Django where you learn? Yeah. So just one good news or bad news for you people. To attend these Django REST framework classes, compulsory you should wear Django. Okay, if you don't know Django, then these classes are not suitable for you people. Remember that. Okay, Django must be required, compulsory. You require to aware. Okay, because it is the Django REST framework. Okay, well. So the remaining people, can you please tell? Yes, I learned Django somewhere else. Anyone there? Can you please? Aryan. Okay, well. You know clearly Django, right? Any other person? Any other? Because to continue this REST framework, compulsory you require. Next, my what we call, just I want the environment setup. Environment setup. I want to explain. The people who don't know about Django, then these classes are not suitable for you. First, you should learn Django, and then you got to come to this area. Okay, maybe good news or bad news. Okay. Okay, well, now Aryan, just usually to develop my Django applications, I'm always going to use Atom IDE. Okay, Atom IDE. Just how to install this Atom IDE? It's a very simple, sir. Just you can go for atom.io, atom.io. Here, just it will be there. It will be there. Just download. Regarding just a download, click exe file only, atom.io, download and click. You are not required to set anything, sir. Just you are not required to set a download and execute exe file automatically in your desktop. Yes, this atom by default will be there. If you open that, then you can able to see. Okay, it's a very easy. Just install that. Next, and after that, one more thing I have to tell for you. Just the people who don't know about the Atom. Okay, after Atom installation. Okay, just after Atom. Yeah, after Atom installation. So just two things you have to take care: Python auto completion, and the Django. These two tools you require to keep in the settings. Just very easy, sir. Just observe that. Okay. Once you installed this, okay, in the file, okay, settings will be there. File settings will be there. In the settings, install, like there are two packages you require to install. One is, yes, in the search bar, just type Python autocomplete Python. Just if you can type Python, just the packages. Yes, here we observed autocomplete Python. Just install. If you are going to get install button, just install, so that Python auto completion commands will come. Okay, like Next and after that, one more Django related also. Just a type Django, atom Django will be there. Just install. Okay, that's all. Okay, these two things you people should aware. I mean, okay, I hope I shared already. Yeah. Okay, these are things. Yeah, Vijay, let me check that PyCharm. So just I will take definitely some sessions on that. Yeah, Vijay and Vaishnav. Okay, definitely sometime I will use PyCharm. But okay, Atom is better than PyCharm. No, Aryan, no. Atom and PyCharm both are IDEs, but both the things. Even PyCharm is a more what we call powerful, more useful even than Atom. But why the people are going to use Atom is it is the freeware. But PyCharm you have some license agreements. Getting right? Yeah, that's it. So Atom is the most commonly used. Atom is the most commonly used. Yes, Sonali. Visual Studio, maybe. Yes, sir. Because there are multiple things. There are multiple things are available. Okay, for multiple IDEs you can use Visual Studio. You can use PyCharm. You can use Atom. You can use Spider. We can use like multiple things you can use, but nothing will be there. So somewhere even Sublime Text next any without IDE just Edit Plus also we can use. Normal notepad also, but generally, okay, application level we can. Yeah. Now here just take a bit very special care about this one, sir. Okay. Next here, what is the what I want to explain? Just to take a bit very special care. You should aware how to this Atom must be there for the new members especially. Please make sure Atom must be there in your system. Okay, well. Now the first level, what I want to do is you have to familiar, okay, write a Django application. So this knowledge I am expecting from you people. Write a Django application to send the HTML response, HTTP response, right? HTML response. Next to send the JSON response, how you can. Are you getting JSON response? How you can. You require to familiar with the JSON kind of terminology. I will explain how you can send a JSON response. Okay, from the Django application. These things we will discuss in detail. Don't worry, sir. Okay. Directly I will go for application. First slowly you have to aware write a function based view or just write a Django function to send the employee data in HTML response form, in JSON response form. How you can able to do that part we have to discuss. Okay, can I start